The story opens on a stormy night. Clara Weston, once the beloved wife of Daniel Weston, is thrown out of her wealthy in-law's mansion after his sudden death. They accuse her of being a gold digger, of marrying for inheritance. Her mother-in-law, Veronica, leads the charge with words sharper than knives. Clara leaves with nothing but her newborn son in her arms and her dignity barely intact. The gates close, and her old life ends. The rain hides her tears as she vows to return not for revenge, but for justice and peace. Chapter 2. The fire within me. 12 years of hardship follow. Clara fights hunger, poverty, and humiliation, but she refuses to give up. She works as a cook, then a baker, then opens her own catering service. Her gift with food and her quiet strength attract the right people. Step by step, she builds an empire. Her son, Ethan, grows into a young man who shares her drive. Together they rise. When Clara finally buys a grand estate built over the ruins of the Westons' lost property, she names it Everhaven. Her heart knows peace, but her past still lingers like a shadow. Chapter 3. The return of the Westons. One afternoon, her housekeeper rushes in nervously. "Ma'am, there are visitors at the gate. They say they're your family." It's them. The Westons, older, broken, desperate. Their business empire has collapsed. Their name is tarnished. They've come seeking financial help from the successful entrepreneur known as Clara Whitmore, not realizing she's the very woman they destroyed. Clara welcomes them in, her face calm, her heart pounding. The one, surrogate family now sits humbled in her marble hall. They beg for help, unaware that they're sitting in the house built on the ashes of their old estate. Chapter 4. The sweetest revenge. Clara listens to their pleas, their excuses, their fake remorse. She offers them tea served in gold-rimmed cups and then reveals the truth. She tells them who she is, what she endured, and how she built her empire from nothing. Their shock and shame fill the air. But Clara doesn't shout or insult them. Her revenge is elegant and final. She forgives them, but refuses to help. Her closure comes not from vengeance, but from showing them how high she's risen. As the Westons leave her gates, defeated and silent, Clara finally feels free. Broken Heart. Full story. Approximately 19:00 characters. The rain fell like judgment that night. Thunder rumbled over the Weston estate, its marble pillars gleaming under flashes of lightning. Inside, a young widow stood trembling, her newborn son cradled in her arms, tears mixing with the rain that dripped from her hair. "Please," Clara whispered, her voice cracking. "Daniel wouldn't want this. He loved me. He trusted me." Her mother-in-law, Veronica Weston, stood at the top of the staircase in a black silk gown, eyes burning with rage and grief. "My son is dead because of you," she spat. "You came into our lives for his money. You'll leave with nothing but shame." Clara shook her head, heart pounding. "That's not true." "Enough," roared Edward Weston, Daniel's older brother. "The will has been reviewed. Everything belongs to the Weston Trust. You have no claim here." Clara's knees buckled, but she held on to her baby, Ethan. "I don't want your money. I just want a home for my son." Veronica's face hardened. "You will not raise a Weston under my roof. Get out." The servants turned their faces away as guards opened the heavy front doors. The storm outside howled like laughter from heaven. As she stepped out, barefoot and soaked, Clara heard the gates close behind her, the sound of her banishment. She stood in the rain, the mansion lights fading behind her, and whispered through her tears, "You'll regret this. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you will." Years of survival, the next few years, broke her in every way possible. She found work cleaning offices, washing dishes, even sleeping in church basements with Ethan wrapped in her arms. Her body ached, but her heart ached more. Every night, she remembered the words that had been thrown at her, "You're nothing without us." She vowed to prove them wrong. With time, she discovered her gift. Her food wasn't just good, it was healing. Her pastries carried love, her dishes told stories. A small bakery owner named Mrs. Patel gave her a chance. "You have a fire in you," she said. "Don't waste it." And Clara didn't. She worked from dawn till midnight, saving every penny. Within 2 years, she had her own shop, Ethan's Table. Within 5, she catered high-end events. Her reputation spread. Her food became a symbol of comfort and grace. When Ethan turned 12, she opened her own company, Whitmore Foods. She changed her last name, not out of shame, but rebirth. Clara Whitmore was no longer the widow who'd been thrown away. A mansion reborn the land came to her by chance, an estate auction, listed as Weston Property No. 7, long abandoned and foreclosed. She stared at the name for a long time. Her hands trembled as she signed the purchase papers. The soil beneath the old Weston gardens became her new beginning. She built a home that reflected her soul. Tall windows, white marble floors, and wide gardens blooming with lavender and hydrangeas. She named it Everhaven. When she first walked through its finished halls, she cried, not from sadness, but from release. Her son wrapped his arms around her. "We did it, Mom. Yes," she whispered, smiling through tears. "We really did." The ghosts returned 12 years later. The ghosts came back. It was a bright spring afternoon. Clara sat at her glass dining table, reviewing a proposal for a new branch opening. Her housekeeper, Mara, entered nervously. "Ma'am, there are people at the gate. They say they're the Westons." The name hit Clara like a jolt. For a long moment she said nothing. Then she stood composed. "Let them in." Minutes later, a car rolled up the driveway, a once luxurious black sedan, now worn with age. When the doors opened, 3 figures emerged: Veronica, Edward, and Edward's wife, Monica. They looked smaller somehow. Time had not been kind. The arrogance in their posture was gone, replaced with the weight of desperation. Clara met them at the entrance, her poise unshaken. "Good afternoon," she said evenly. "I wasn't expecting company." Veronica's painted smile trembled. "Mrs. Whitmore, it's such an honor to finally meet you. You've become quite the success." Clara motioned toward the living room. "Please sit." They entered, eyes darting around the grand hall. Chandeliers, art, gold trim, every inch screaming wealth. Edward cleared his throat. "We came because we're in a bit of financial trouble. Our company, Weston Construction, it's gone under. We're looking for investors. You have quite a reputation, Mrs. Whitmore. Perhaps we can work together." Clara tilted her head. "I see." Monica leaned forward. "You'd gain prestige partnering with a legacy name like Weston." The irony almost made Clara laugh. She studied their faces, the same people who had tossed her into the rain, now begging for crumbs. "The reveal, you know," Clara said softly, pouring tea into gold-rimmed cups. "I once knew a family named Weston. They were quite proud, cruel too." Veronica froze mid-sip. Clara continued. "They threw out a woman and her newborn son after her husband died. Accused her of things she never did. Left her to starve. I wonder what became of them." Monica blinked, confused. How do you know about that?" Clara smiled faintly. "Because I was that woman." The room went silent. Veronica's face drained of color. "Clara, yes," she said simply. "Clara Weston, the woman you erased from your lives." The teacup in Veronica's hand shattered against the marble floor. Edward's mouth opened and closed, speechless. "I thought you died," he stammered. "In a way I did," Clara replied. "But I built a new life from the ashes. Every success you see here, every brick of this house, was laid by my hands. And do you know the sweetest part?" She gestured around. "This land once belonged to you. I bought it when your debts forced it into auction." Veronica covered her face. "Clara, we were grieving. We didn't mean to." "Oh, you meant every word," Clara said, her tone calm but sharp. "You made me nothing, and so I became everything." Grace, not cruelty. Tears streamed down Veronica's cheeks. We have nothing left. The world has turned its back on us. Please, Clara, help us. Your family." Clara laughed softly, not mockingly, but with sadness. Family doesn't throw you into the street. Family doesn't erase your name from a will or your child's from their bloodline. Edward looked down, ashamed. For a long moment, Clara said nothing. The silence pressed heavy. Then she rose, her heels clicking on the marble floor. "I won't humiliate you," she said quietly. "I won't do to you what you did to me. But I won't save you either. Consider this my kindness. I'm letting you walk away." Veronica sobbed, whispering apologies that came too late. Clara's voice softened. "I forgave you years ago, but forgiveness doesn't mean welcome." She called Mara. "Please see our guests out." As the Westons shuffled toward the door, their once grand name now hollow, Clara added, "Oh, one more thing. The gardener out back used to work at the old Weston estate. When he came here, he told me something I'll never forget." They turned confused. He said, "Even the grandest garden withers when watered by arrogance." I've kept that in mind ever since. The doors closed. The peace of the victorious that evening. Clara stood on her balcony, watching the sunset drape her gardens in gold. The air smelled of rain and lavender. Ethan joined her, now tall, confident, the image of his late father, but stronger somehow. "Who were they?" he asked softly. "People who once mistook cruelty for power." She replied. He nodded. "And you didn't take revenge?" Clara smiled. "No, the best revenge is living well. I didn't need to hurt them. Life already did." She turned to him, brushing a hand through his hair. "Never let hate guide you, Ethan. It burns the one who holds it." He smiled. "You're amazing, Mom." Clara looked out at the sky, whispering, "No, my love, I'm just finally free." And as night fell, the mansion lights glowed softly, a symbol not of wealth, but of survival. Outside, down the long driveway, the Weston family's car disappeared into darkness, leaving behind only the echo of what they'd lost and the woman who'd risen from their ashes.